Hello, kind people of YouTube and Spotify, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of The Opossum Speaks. The podcast where I say shit and no one hears it, or I mean, some people hear it, but no one responds to it because I don't have guests. But I don't know, today has actually been not a terrible day, and neither has been, or neither has the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that. I don't know. The main thing that's been happening is that my school switched to online learning, starting on Wednesday, and so Wednesday and Thursday were both asynchronous, and our teachers gave us stuff to work on, and then we allegedly worked on it. I tried to work on it, and I did some of it, but I didn't do a terribly large amount of it. I don't know. That was kind of not great because it meant that Tuesday might have been my very last day of in-person school because they said it was only going to be online for a week, but that I doubt a little bit actually. That I'm not so sure about. It says we'll be back in time for finals on the 21st, which would be nice, but I don't know, because they said that it would be 2 weeks last time they canceled school, and that was March to 2020, and that went on for a few years. But with any luck, it'll actually be back on the 21st, and I'll be able to see people again. But the reason today has been slightly today wasn't actually really really good. I don't know. Today started off weird. I woke up at 7 and stayed in bed until 8:15. And then I took a shower and then went downstairs and it's because my uncle is here. My uncle on my father's side, so he's my father's brother. And he's actually a pretty darn cool guy. He is a doctor and all that. I think he works in hospice, as in the ward for people who are about to die. But I don't know. He has he looks a lot like my father, and he has my eyelashes. His eyelashes look a lot like mine, which is the one thing that stuck out to me, I guess. But he is not a bad guy. He's 9 years older than my father, which is kind of strange because 9 years is quite a long time for, sibling age gaps. But I don't know. There are longer sibling age gaps, but I don't know. It's quite a bit of years, especially because there's no middle sibling. But yeah, he is over here. He got here on Thursday, I think. Yeah, he got here on Thursday, and he's just been hanging around and doing things, and we went to a plant garden thing with him today, which was part of the reason why today wasn't bad at all. We saw plants because it was a garden, and they had a pond where there were 2 ducks. I don't know. I think the garden would have been a lot better if it was not the middle of January, because I don't know, really any of the months between April and September would be a nice time to go. But right now was not the best time to go because everything was brown and gray and dark green, and it was generally not super cheerful, but there were still some cool plants, and I don't know, it wasn't bad at all, and we got to walk around a little bit. Although, it wasn't really a walk, it was more like a labored stagger, because my grandmother was there too, and she does not walk super fast, but I don't know, it was nice, because we got to talk and all that, and there were 6 people, and it just was not a bad vibe, because my father is very good at carrying conversation. Even by himself, I think he would if he made a podcast, I think it would be a very good podcast. It would be the Eli's Dad Show, and it'd be great stuff. But I don't know. That's the only major thing that has happened today specifically. But I don't know. I'm mostly just kind of in shock and denial about school being back to online because I thought it wouldn't happen, and then on Monday, already one school went back to online, in our district, one high school, and on Tuesday, 2 more schools in our district went back to online, and then Wednesday, my school went back to online, and it's just, I don't know, it's going to be very, very boring. And yeah, the Wednesday and Thursday were asynchronous. However, Friday was synchronous, and it ended up, sucking less shit than last year, but still sucking quite a bit more shit than in-person school. I actually came to quite like in-person school because I got to see people and I don't know, physically see my teachers, and it seemed like, because online you can't really convey passion for a subject online, but teachers do a very good job of it in person, and you can actually be like, wow, these people, although they aren't paid terribly well and you should pay them more, they're very good at their jobs and they like what they're doing, and they seem genuinely passionate about their subject. Except of course for my math teacher, because he is like a, I don't know, unfeeling, unseeing hunk of skin. But for all of my other teachers, they showed a lot of emotion and like a lot of, I don't know, drive to teach kids things. An in-person school, I know there's none of that, and it's just generally not good. Like my Spanish teacher on Friday said that like the classroom was colder without all of us, which was just, I mean, slightly endearing, but mostly just like it sort of made you feel bad, which I mean was probably not, maybe not intentional, but I mean it was a good outcome of it because I did kind of feel bad. Um, I don't know. Hopefully, it will only last for a week, even though I've already said that, I think, multiple times. But I was like surprised just how terrible online school was. But I don't know. It's also weird because there's like this thing where this is like a completely different subject, but my mother's been like somehow more, maybe not like annoying because she's not super annoying. She's just like more not fake. There's like a certain, maybe not chuggy. It's like if the attribute of chuggy was applied to a person, she's becoming more of that. Like it's like she's saying things to make people seem like she cares, but she does. I mean, I think she does maybe care. Like, but she's been asking me like how Geometry Dash has been going, and I'm like, yeah, I could tell you, but then I'd have to like sit you down and say, all right, this is what the situation is with Geometry Dash, and this is where I'm at in it. And I don't think she wants that. She just wants to say, hey, Eli, how's your Geometry Dash level going? And for me to say good, and for that to be the end of the conversation, which is not really what I think I would like. Like, I would like to explain to her and for her to understand a lot of it, and I'm not sure she's able to. I don't know. I think the word for it is dry. Like, she's just initiating a lot of conversations that could have a lot of depth, but she's not putting it, like, she's not buying into a lot of depth in it, and it sort of makes the conversation just very lacking. But she just does that with me a lot. Like I'll be in the car with her or something, and she'll try and attempt to strike up a conversation, and she does. And like I talk to her and stuff, and I don't know. I just feel like we could be getting along on like a level that's not the surface, like actually. But I mean, I've been living with her for so very long that I feel like we already know each other pretty darn well. Um, I don't know. But she is like my mom, and I'm 15, so that might have something to do with it. Because maybe she just hasn't changed that much, and I've just become like more irritable. That might actually be the case, because I've seen, I don't know, I've heard about this happening, and I think it's happening to me. I don't know. It's like, it's not that she's becoming annoying, it's just that I think she's just, yeah, becoming more dry and perhaps chuggy. But yeah, she also was mentioning how she was like taking, like, this is kind of the best word choice I can muster up, but like midlife crisis therapy. Although it's not that, because she's not in a midlife crisis, but it's like how it's, I guess the point of it is probably to like come to terms with the fact that you've been living in a household with the same people for like 20 or more years probably. I don't know. I think she's a very noble person. But she's just like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that go on in her head that she doesn't like let on, and that might just be like, I don't know. I honestly, yeah, don't really know where I'm going with this, but like, it just seems, yeah, it seems like she just has all of her personality traits on the outside, and like, there's probably a whole lot on the inside, but she just doesn't show it, and she's just like, only thinks she is, or she only like lets on her personality traits to just make conversation and to keep the family going, which is fine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not everyone has to be like a really darn deep down person, but for someone that I spend like, or I have to, I don't know, for someone that's in my family, I would kind of like it if she just, I don't know, was kind of down to earth. Like she beats around the bush a whole lot, and she like says things and tries to communicate telepathically with you to like have you kind of be on the same page with her without like explicitly saying it, which is weird because she could just directly say it and save like 10 minutes of conversation. She also likes to like chat up the people working in stores when she's like in line and buying something, which is, I think, that really, really, really gets on my nerves. Like, she's not a bad person, and she's just trying to chat people up and like be kind. But do you really honestly think that someone behind like a barista in some coffee shop that's not Starbucks is like pleased and pumped and excited to be there and will welcome any sort of conversation from a mid-40s person? Like, no, dude. They just want to get over with the order and go back to doing whatever they used to be doing before our family walked in and ordered a coffee because it's an empty-ass coffee shop. Like, no, dude. There's some sort of, like, decent, unspoken social etiquette there where you don't just chat up random people who are visibly not pumped about what they're doing. I don't know. It just kind of gets on my nerves, but I think, yeah, I don't know, once I turn like 30 or 40, I'll probably be doing a lot of the same things with a lot of the same people. But I guess if I'm on my own, I can try to prevent it until that happens. But, my gosh. I don't know. I've said I don't know like 5 million billion times here. But this is just what happens with parents and kids probably, and I think I should stop worrying about it. Because, I don't know, like, I think I actually quite like my family. Like, from what I've heard about some of other people's families, like, one of my friends, his dad, just, like, drops him off in the middle of nowhere sometimes, and he has to, like, get a ride home, which is not a great, I mean, in fact, it's an objectively bad trait from a father. I don't know what I'm saying. Well, I feel very lucky to have, like, a father that is a good person and a mother that's a good person, and to have them, like, love each other and, you know, be in a stable relationship. But I don't know. It's the thing where I'm very lucky and fortunate to have all this, but there's a lot of it that still kind of gets on my nerves, which is fine. Like, it's not like it's driving me out of the house. It's not like I'm going to run away, but it's just, like, kind of enough to make me want to talk about it here, even though that's not really a lot, because I had to kind of dig down deep, like, in the recess of my head to find the stuff to complain about. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, my sister still is in in-person school because she goes to a private school, and there it's still in person, because the reason that the school is remote now is because of staffing shortages and not because of the new variant. And I think that the staffing shortages might actually just be caused by the new variant. However, on like the website, it says just staffing shortages. Like, oh jeez, I'm hiccuping. I don't know why. Like, teachers are out and there's not enough subs, so sometimes, like, so they had to, like, call in emergency subs as parents, and sometimes there's, like, empty classrooms with only kids, and it's not a very good situation, and so they just closed the schools and had everyone go remote, which was actually probably the best thing to do. Like, it's not like they could just keep having in-person school and not have anyone learn anything, and just have kids alone in a room by themselves without a teacher. Like, that would be vastly worse than remote school, but remote school is still not great compared to in-person school. So I don't know. But yeah, that's the situation. Dude, so on Audacity it says recording. Disk space remains for recording 4 hours and 36 minutes. That's like quite a bit, actually. I don't know. I didn't know. Actually, I'm not sure that's that much, because never mind. Oh, I think it never. Okay, I thought I was never. There was a lot of things that went through my head, and the correct answer was not one of them. I think I should stop talking and start talking about something else. So in my shower, there are panels, right? And they're like square, no shit. But the thing that's cool about my panel, the thing that's cool about my shower is that there's like some square like tiles and there's some diagonally angled tiles. And I like look at that every morning and I was like, man, I wonder if I like started drawing a line between the intersection of like some of the diagonal tiles and the square tiles, like what would happen. And I didn't actually do it, but like I wrote it down as a geometry problem and put it on Twitter, and like someone solved it. And I don't know, that brought me a lot of joy, and I tried to solve it myself because I didn't know if they were right, and they got like a weird answer that had the square root of 2 minus 1 over 1, or like the reciprocal of that, and I thought that might be it, but that also might not be it, and so I tried doing it for my own, and I got like a weird ass answer that was in the 5,000s, and that couldn't be it, but I can like post a link to the problem like on, I don't know, in the description of this video, because it's on YouTube and also Spotify, I guess. So I don't know. I also tried like updating the like cover image for this podcast in Spotify, and it just deadpan didn't work. Deadpan, yes, deadpan didn't work. Like I'm looking at it. Your library, no podcast. Yes, that's it. The Opossum speaks. And yeah, it's like this really crazy ass cover image of like the Opossum speaks in like, magenta and black text, and I'm a pretty big fan of it. It was like, I thought pretty decently designed, because the Opossum speaks is actually like 16 characters, and that's a very good number for like making cool headers, because you can just have rows of 4 and make it look square. I don't know, it would have been sick, but Spotify just decided to not upload it, which is not that great. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll reload the Spotify page or something and do some sort of shenanigan. But yeah, that is currently the situation. And there's also like a hell of a lot of other stuff happening, mostly just one other thing happening. But I don't know, I think it's like personal enough that I shouldn't talk about it. I don't know, dude, I'm looking at this coffee cup, and there's no coffee in it. But there's like, see, okay, the thing, I don't know why I'm doing this, like, as in getting distracted and talking about random things that I see. But the way I drink coffee is actually like not a great way of drinking coffee. Like I fill my cup up with like, to 2/3 of the way with coffee, and then I put, I fill the remainder of the cup with cream, and then I drink it because the cream cools off the hot coffee. And I think it's a great system, because I don't have to wait for it to cool off, and I don't have to like endure the taste of black coffee. I just drink it, and it's delicious, and then I feel nothing, because caffeine has like not a lot of effect on me. I don't know. I haven't gotten a lot of sort of buzz from coffee like ever, so maybe I like just have a resistance to it, a resistance to caffeine. But although that might not be the right word. Like, I'm not immune to caffeine. I'm like, because caffeine is not a virus or a bacteria, but I'm something to caffeine. But yeah, I don't know. I was also thinking about how like weird having like narcolepsy would be, because I think a character in Homestuck has it, which made me think about that, because I was thinking about Homestuck, and it would be very inconvenient, but it would get you out of a lot of things. Like, if someone's like, hey, take this test, you'd be like, sorry, I can't, I have narcolepsy. Or like, hey, drive this car, you'd be like, I can't, I have narcolepsy. Like, I think it would suck shit more than it would be interesting. Like, you couldn't do a lot of things on your own, because you just fall asleep. Like, narcolepsy is the disease where you just fall asleep randomly. And it would, if you're taking a bath or shit, yeah, that wouldn't be good. I don't know why I said that, because you just drown. Or like, immediately something bad would happen to you if you were doing something that required like constant, yeah, that wouldn't be good. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. I'll see everyone on season 2, episode 3 of the Opossum Speaks, and please have a good night, or a good evening, good evening, or a good afternoon, or a good morning, in that order, because that's the way the day goes, evening, afternoon, morning. But, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, and NBs, and xenogenders, and bi-gender people. Literally everyone. I'll see everyone next time on the Opossum. That's a terrible fucking outro. Goodbye.